Hey everyone, this is Johnny and happy June. I am in Kharkiv, Ukraine, and I finally have been in one place for over a month. And I'm so happy that I can report everything I've done, everything I've earned, everything I spent, and if I hit my goals for the last 31 days. So let's check out my May income report. All right, so as I was saying, it's been a really great month of just being in one place, and it's really crazy because I think a lot of you who are stuck at like a 9-to-5 job or you're living in one place, you might dream about moving around, hopping on planes, hopping on trains, hopping on buses, and just exploring and seeing places. So you might be thinking, why are you so happy that you're in this one medium-sized city for an entire month? And I think it's because for the last 6 months, I've been bouncing around. Yeah, sure, I was in Chiang Mai for a few months, but even then, I had like a 14-day trip to the Maldives to go diving, and then went back to Chiang Mai. I had the Nomad Summit. From there, I went to Sri Lanka. First I went to Kuala Lumpur, and then I went to Sri Lanka, all around Sri Lanka. Then I went on the Nomad Cruise, which brought me to Gran Canaria, to Morocco, to Spain, to Portugal. And honestly, it was tiring. It's really fun, but it's really, really tiring. And I'm not complaining about it because I chose to do these things and I really enjoyed it, but to balance that craziness of travel, it's really nice to have a home base and just be in one place for a month. So my goal has been to stay in Kharkiv for 2 months, and it's already been a month and a half, which is pretty crazy. I'm actually very surprised that I only have 2 weeks left here. And to be honest, Kharkiv is not a fun place. It's kind of a boring place. Nobody really speaks English, so you might be thinking, why am I here? But that's going to be a topic for another video. I'm going to do a blog post about life in Kharkiv. But to kind of sum it up, I wanted a easy, cheap, nice place to spend a few months that wasn't in the Schengen zone, because my visa for Western Europe would run out before the end of my summer trip, because I started my summer in April this year and I'm going to be here until at least September. So I needed a place that was outside of the Schengen zone that was still in Europe and still had good weather. And my other goal was to be able to learn a bit of Russian so I can start traveling to more of kind of Eastern Europe. And I really want to travel to everywhere in the former USSR. It's kind of a bucket list item I have. It's kind of random, but Kharkiv has been a good place to learn Russian. So let's take a look at what I actually did this month and what it's been like. So this photo here with some goats and pigs, that's actually just outside of Kharkiv. One thing I really like about the city is there's a really good metro system that's so cheap. It's 8 hryvnia and you can ride anywhere. And that's about 30 cents. And this park, this outdoor kind of zoo, that's a petting zoo, is actually free, which is really surprising. It's called Feldman Eco Park. I'll be sure to talk about it in my actual blog post, but it's a really nice way to spend a day and kind of get out of the city. And it really kind of summarizes what it's like being here. There's a lot of families there. There's a lot of people who, just kind of still, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Let's get into it in the next video because there's so much to talk about Ukraine. But one thing I really like about Kharkiv is it's so cheap. It is ridiculously cheap. Basically, if the average salary here is anywhere between, let's say, $200 to a maximum of $800. Some people, if you're working in like IT for a European company and you can make $1,000 a month, you're living really well. So if you can make $1,000 a month with your online business, your location independent business, whether you're making it through drop shipping, through Amazon FBA, through affiliate marketing, through blogging, through whatever it is, if you make $1,000 a month and you want to really enjoy life in an Eastern European city, Kharkiv is it. And just kind of show you how much I spent $500 on my rent, which is double what a normal person here would spend. I've met a lot of locals and they all spend between $150 to a maximum of, let's say, $280 a month for the rent. But the reason why mine's so much more is I got it on Airbnb, so it's just convenient. It's month-to-month contract, so I don't have to, have a 6-month or a year contract. Utilities are included, and utilities are actually kind of expensive here. It's kind of weird, where some people are only spending, let's say, $200 a month on their flat, but they might be spending $100 just on electric and gas. So it actually ends up adding up to $300 anyways. So for me to be able to be right in the city center, the first part of the month, I was near Pushinska station, which is kind of like at the edge of the center, but it's 15-20 minute walk to like the center. Now I am literally a 1 minute walk from everything. It's so nice. I can walk outside and I'm in the heart of everything. It's almost kind of strange because it's so quiet. If you kind of listen, there's like nothing happening here, and it's because I'm in a nice courtyard, but like literally just outside of the courtyard is the main street where everything is. So I really love it, and there's no way for $500 that I would be able to rent a place in like Midtown Manhattan or in Market Street in San Francisco, 3rd Street Promenade or something in LA. There's no way you'd be able to rent a place within a 1 minute walk of every good restaurant, cafe, park, meeting spot, for $500. So really, really good value. Also, my SIM card, which is crazy, I paid $4 US for a SIM card and some data. And I did it my first day I arrived, and I actually had no idea how many gigs I would have or how long it would last. And it lasted an entire month. So I used about 10 gigs of data. I made a ton of phone calls, like local phone calls, because you have to make like reservations for everything here, which is kind of strange. But for $4 a month, how much are you spending right now on your phone bill? It's insane. When people back in the US or Canada spend 60, 80, maybe even $100 a month. Here it's $4. Same thing as my gym membership. I'm paying $12 a month for my gym membership, and it's walking distance. It's about a 10 or 11 minute walk, and it's so nice to be able to walk through a nice park in the morning to go to a nice gym. I've been getting massages just because this is what I do. Like in Thailand, I get massages probably every day or every other day because it's $5. Here it's a bit more, so I don't get them as often, but still every like few days I try to get a massage, especially if I go to the gym. The other thing I spend a lot of money on is coffee and tea. I probably get 2 coffees a day at like nice places. So even though you can get coffee for 10 hryvnia, which is, I don't know how much that would be, like 40 cents. I normally go to like nicer, hipster type coffee shops, and it's $1 for an Americano and an espresso. But it's still super cheap. So I get 2 a day. I probably spend at least $50, maybe a bit more on coffee and tea. Same as food and groceries. You can get food for really, really cheap. If you take a look at these photos, this skillet is $3, and it's like country potatoes, mushrooms, onions, and eggs. And that's a whole meal for most people. But for me, if you notice, I have a second skillet with some turkey meatballs, because this guy, I eat a lot. Also, this bottom photo here, this is basically 2 meals in one. This is this kind of ball thing is a chicken Kiev. I'm sure you've had it before. Like inside, it's usually like chicken, maybe some ham or bacon. In the middle is actually like butter. So when you cut it open, it's really juicy. I also had a pork steak with cheese and mushroom on it and onions, some mashed potatoes, and some beetroot salad. And that's about $4 for all of that. And most people are just getting one or the other. So usually you're only spending like $2 or $3 instead of $4. So it's really, really cheap to eat here. The metro rides are like 30 cents a piece. The taxis are really cheap. You can take an Uber anywhere within 20 minutes for $2. So I've been taking a lot of Ubers. Even though I'm in the city center, I normally walk everywhere, but if I'm going to go somewhere that it's just like a little bit off the beaten track and I don't want to walk 25 minutes, I'll just take an Uber. And then two there and to come back, I spent $4 a day, which is so cheap. And that's why I do it. But most locals never take taxis unless they really have to, because the metros are so cheap and you can walk most places. Probably my biggest expense is the money I give to my parents every month, so it's $1,000. But I don't include that in my expenses because that's not really something that most people are doing right now. So I just kind of include the main living expenses and my main business expenses, like my website hosting, my e-commerce hosting, all that good stuff. And in total, I spent $1,401 this month, which is not so bad. It's actually half of what I spent last month. So not too bad for living a really, really good life in the center. So for the earnings for this month, it's actually hard to calculate because everything that I do is geared for the long run or for passive income for months and months, if not years and years. So most of the income that is actually reported right here in the grand total, $4,306, is actually from things that I've done, months ago, and a little bit of the things I've done this month. So for this month, I really had a lot of free time. So I got to create the videos and the blog posts about travel and like what I carry in my bag. Not necessarily because it's going to make a ton of money, but because I enjoy sharing this information because I really like traveling light, living a minimalist style life, and traveling carry-on only. It saves people so much time and headache, and it just makes the travel experience so much better. So I really took a ton of time. One of my videos is an hour long, showing every single thing in my bag and why I have it. Also, I didn't make this video 4 months ago, like when I first got my bag and I was excited about it. I really made sure I traveled with it. I carried this stuff for almost 6 months now through a bunch of different countries before I would review it, because I don't want to just review a bag that I like unbox. Actually, like whenever I see someone unbox something and review it, that same video, I'm like, come on, you haven't even used it. It was literally in the package 2 seconds ago. So I traveled with everything that's in my bag for about 5 or 6 months now, and I finally made a video. So if you haven't seen it, you can look at the blog post of the video about it after. But what's cool is I list every single thing in both the blog post and the description YouTube video. So if you want to buy any of it, you can use my Amazon link, and that pays me. And not just for now, even though a bunch of people had bought, like, let's say the bags and some of the things I recommended, this is evergreen. So for at least the next year, maybe even 2 or 3 years, people will find these videos, these blog posts, and they would buy the products, and I'll continue to get an affiliate commission from it for months and months, which is really cool. Also, if you guys are subscribed to my Facebook or my email list, you'll see I send out a couple emails about Tony Robbins and Dean Graziossi's new course. And even though a bunch of people sign up for it, I only promote things that are first off legitimate and second have a return policy. So if it ends up like not being good or ends up sucking, you always have at least 30 days to just get your money back. And that's why none of the things I promote pay me like right away. It always has a 30 or even a 60-day window where after someone pays for it, they hold that money and then they pay me like 1 or 2 months later. So these are things that don't reflect right away. So if you look at this big number, it doesn't include the things that I started talking about promoting for this month. Also, what's really nice is I went through that process, and I made another case study. I think it's the 8th case study for my Income Boss course, where I show every single person, every one of my students, exactly how I promote things, why I promote it, how I found the offers, what marketing strategies I use, what converts well, how much I get paid for it. And this one was really cool because I got inside access to 50 people, the top 50 people who also promoted the course, and I can see like how well they did. So the people that do way better than me, we can use them as a case study to learn from them as well. So I'm really excited. I think that's kind of invaluable. That's even better than the money I personally made, is to be able to share this with my students in Income Boss, because it's going to be really, really cool where we can like basically backward analyze what other people did as well. But in total, did pretty well. And actually the best thing that happened this month was we had the best month ever of one of my dropshipping stores. So this one is one of my partner stores, and this month we crushed it, $16,098. And unfortunately, I only own 25% of the store, so it's not all my money. And also, I'm not getting paid out for this monthly. We were basically holding the profits, and then at the end of probably 14 months, we're going to sell the store, and then it's going to be a big payday. But really, it's doing really good. And my favorite metrics is, number one, the returning customer rate was 7% this month, which means people love the product so much that they're coming back That means we're not spending more money on ads to get them back. They're happy. They're not returning products. They're telling their friends. It's just like a nice experience. And also, our conversion rate is pretty high, which is 2.51%. Industry standard for dropshipping stores is 1%. So really, really good on that front as well. So good job, partner. You know who you are. And here are some of the things that people bought from my Amazon links, including that duffel bag that I travel with and recommend, as well as a few other kind of cool things here. From my YouTube channel, the ad revenue from there, and all the investments. So remember, all the money I make from selling these dropshipping stores, I reinvest back into real estate and index funds. So for this particular account, I've collected $489 worth of interest this month. So that's just interest. And it's really diverse over a bunch of properties that I've invested between $1,000 and $2,000 on each. So it's really diversified. So even though we had one default and I lost $100 from it, I also made enough to cover that and also make another almost $500. So I'm very, very happy with that. So for my actual goals for this month, if you read my report from last month, I wanted just to chill out. I wanted to be in one place, get my sanity back, not travel, not get on a bus, not get on an airplane. And I was really, really happy. The furthest I traveled this month was just to go to the Feldman Echo Park to see the animals. And that was a nice day just to get out of the city. And even at moving apartments, I took an Uber for about 10 minutes from my old place to this new place. So super easy, especially because now it's minimal. So I just have these two small bags. And I'm very happy to say that one of my goals was to get into a good routine and go to the gym every day. So I've been going every single day, Monday through Friday, usually resting on weekends. And I've hit those goals. So I feel so much better. I feel like so much stronger. I'm in so much better shape. Got my squat. I started squatting with just the bar, which is 20 kilos, about 45 pounds. And I've got it to the big boy weights, the 20 kilo or 45 pound weights now. So I feel like I'm back on track. And I think by the end of next month, I'm actually going to be in really good shape. So I'm very happy to be back in this routine. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I've been going a lot of long walks. Pretty much every day, my routine is go to the gym in the morning, work for a few hours, then meet up with someone to go have a coffee and go for a walk. And it's a great life. I really, really, really like this. So highly recommend finding a good routine. If you have any questions about that or anything else, leave a comment below. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe because I'm going to give you monthly updates on everything I've been doing, as well as I'm going to have another, I don't know if I'm going to make a video, but I'll definitely do a blog post about Kharkiv, everything I liked about it. But either way, subscribe to the email list, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the notification bell on YouTube if you want my videos twice a month as soon as they're published so you don't miss anything. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you somewhere in the world. Bye, guys.